Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever it is for you. I'm Cyclone. Let's try a new series. Let's play Train Simulator. Welcome. And as you see, I am playing this particular time where you see the South Devon main line has released onto Steam. Already an item's out. We'll talk about that later. Union Pacific, the new Union Pacific's out. I have not picked that up because, well, I'm not really confident with Steam engines yet, but we are going to get to that. We're going to work our way into that. And yeah, welcome. This is the Train Simulator 2021 dialogue. Pretty much the same dialogue for previous versions of the game. The difference, of course, is that we got the current featured trains on the front, number 68007 there on the right. German 648325 on the left. By the way, that's also the train that runs on the Ottawa. I forget what it's called all of a sudden, but on a line in Ottawa. And I'm thinking the Confederation off the top of my head, but I can't remember the name of the other one for some reason. It'll come to me, and I'll kick myself later. Anyway, Clinchfield one in the middle, so those represent the lines that come with the game. Currently, one is the Nord. I can't say it, but it starts with Nord. The other one is Clinchfield, and then we have the British line. Five Circle. I had to think about what it was. The Five Circle line. And the deluxe version of the game has West Coast Main Line South in it as well, which comes with a whole load of trains, some of which are familiar from previous routes, such as the 377 from London to Brighton, the 350 from Trent Valley, and others. So, yeah, lots of games, lots of routes in this simulation that you can take advantage of. And just how many are there? Well, let's take a look. Oh, brother, that's quick drive, not where I want to be. Standard is where I want to be. You can go to career as well. They're the same kind of scenarios, but they go for points. And oh boy. Yeah, that's a lot of routes and a lot of scenarios to play, isn't it? That is a lot of content, yeah. So let's go ahead and go to our target for today without wasting too much more time here. Because time is money, they say. Except where it isn't. So this is the line I'm going to be coming to. However, I realized after I download the scenarios in question, which are the Class 07 scenarios, that they require content I don't have, which is basically some Victory Works Steam content. Not for driving, just for showing off in the scenario. I don't have them. So I can't use those. However, I did find that I have the same scenarios available down here, and they do use the same shunter, and they don't have the Victory Works on the original version. So what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be eventually showing off this enhanced version of the Falmouth branch. I wanted to start with that. But I'm going to go ahead and intro, just to show you how this game works, I'm going to intro this game doing a couple of shunting scenarios. So one is called, these are actually a lot longer than I expected, 60 minutes and 90 minutes. Maybe, I'm not going to do both at once. I'll start with just the one Class 07 shunting. I'll come back, I'll do the other one at a later time, but I'll do the one Class 07 shunting. This is the dock, I am the engine. We're going to start with that one, and that's how we're going to start off this series. So sit back and relax, and we're going to go ahead and take a look around the Falmouth docks area of the what is now called the Maritime Line. I'll see you in there. Good morning, driver. Welcome to the habitat of a dock shunter. Drive to dockyard 17 where you'll receive further instructions. Roger. So let's go ahead and just take a quick look at the mini-map here. I'm going to pause the game for just a moment. This is where we're exploring. Look at all the different trains and cars and everything that are all over the place around here. We have to move all this stuff. Now, we're not really going to go to these yards. These we're not going to use. But pretty much everything else along this yard, even over to here, we're going to be using. We're going to come down to here at one point. We're going to come even onto the main line to grab a train over here. We're going to grab things all over the place here. We're going to be parking stuff everywhere. So we need to make sure we know what we're doing. For example, first stop, we're going to be going to Dockyard 17 over here. We're going to head over to Falmouth Exchange, which is these two tracks leading to the main tracks. We're going to go number 1 right after that. We're going to head back to 18. We're going to move these trains blocking the path over to these areas. Move these other cars out of the way. We're going to head back to 17. We're going to head over to the train that I just talked about over here earlier, which apparently we couldn't get at the same time. Apparently it's too long. And then we're going to move over to this top corner of the map. We're going to go to the various dockyards down here. Going to come back, pick up another train over here. And after we pick up that train, we're going to move that around somewhere. Drop it off over here where we just have this other train right now. We're going to come back to the... actually come to the station, pick up a train over at the shed, at the siding over there. We're going to head back to the approach. We're going to head backwards. We're going to drop that off, and then we're going to call it a day at the dockyard over here where we basically finish and have a coffee, you know? So that's what we're doing here. let's get going and let's start getting to work. This is going to take a little while. So the first thing we need to do is make sure our first switch is set correctly. Our first switch is set correctly. Someone did that for us. Thank you very much. This guy gets up to speed in a hurry once the reverser is set correctly. Now, I was actually just started running this scenario right before this recording. And for some reason, the train got stuck at a 4.8 speed limit. I don't know why the train suddenly got stuck at that low speed. It just somehow all of a sudden decided it didn't want to go anymore. And I'm going to assume that trying to do the proper thing, which is applying the handbrakes, which you should be doing anytime you drop a car off. When you drop off something in this game, the game automatically applies the handbrakes. You don't have to do it apparently. So I'm not going to do that in case that for some reason slowed my train down. That might have slowed the train down. So I'm not going to do that. Even though it is the realistic way to do things, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to risk basically breaking the game. So not wanting to break the game means I'm not going to switch that. Now where is my switch for this? I don't see the switch for this track. It is right there, but for some reason... Oh, there it is. The graphics are so... are not the best on this map, so you have to be zoomed in on the switch to find it. There it is. So I saw it moving when I hit it. So let's put the reverser in the other direction. Get ourselves up to speed again. Brakes off. And we're going to zip by here at about 10 miles per hour. Well, 9. So let's hop in the cab. Let's take a look at what it looks like going backwards. That's what it looks like. Oh, look, a better window. Now, we need to check the switches here. I almost screwed up. I almost derailed us. I caught it just in time, and we are on our tracks. That's what happens when you're too busy looking around. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare our next step here. We have to basically connect to this and this. But before we can do anything else with this, we have to get past that switch. So we're going to get past that switch. There's some kind of reversing point up there at the terminus of this line that we're on. So as you see on the HUD down below, we are entering the realm of Dockyard 17 right now. Dockyard 18 is right beyond it. We're going to stop right here on Dockyard 17, hopefully not too far. Yeah, we're good, so I can switch this over now. And our next stop is set up and ready to go. So we're going to get ready to do that. Reverser in the other direction. Let's look at the forward. There's all the controls. We'll look at them at a later time. Right now, I just want to show you how to move around and do stuff, because that's the fun part. Once our stop has been fully processed, like that, we can go forward. So we're going to go forward. We're not going to go beyond 10. Even though we are entering at 15, we're not going to get far into the 15. Let's hop on top of the train right now. Because it's a lot easier to see what's happening outside if we're on top of the train. We're on an uphill, so we have to negotiate the uphill speeds here. You can go slightly over the speed limit, but we're not going to try and do that. I'm going to have the consist view up because this is on a hill, so it's a little fussy trying to get the consist hooked up and get the train stopped in front of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the consist hooked up as soon as we have access to it here. I'm going to slow down a little bit because we're going a little too fast. And there it is. We're now hooked up, and let's go in the other direction. Shall we? It's always fun when you don't have to apply throttle yourself, is it? I can use throttle as a brake, literally. I'm applying the throttle right now, it's serving as a brake. I think we're far enough, aren't we? Yeah, we're far enough. Let's go ahead and hit the switch now. And just for safety's sake, later on, we're going to need this switch set to finish the trek along there later. So now that we're going that way, let's have a little fun doing it this way. There we go. Let's go ahead backwards normally now. Now keep in mind this is not how you normally drive, but you can take advantage of the downhills in this game by doing exactly what I just did. You can take advantage of those downhills very nicely. Let's get to the back of the train, shall we? Or technically the front. Again, we're going to go ahead and slow down. We don't want to ram anything off the tracks here. That would be the worst thing we can do. But we need to have the consist view ready to go, the consist view ready to go, so we can connect as soon as we see him, because we're going to be going downhill as soon as we pick this up. Good enough. Return to dockyard 18. Roger. That's the back of the train. That's the main line. This is my cab. And this is the front of the train. Or probably the back of the train. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and use the throttle as a brake. Not conventional, but on a major downhill like this, why not? It can be especially helpful if you have limited braking potential. So let's see how far I can get on the downhill. I may or may not get to dock 18. If I do, that's great. But if I don't, then I'm going to have to eventually put the reverser into backwards to go a little more. So we're entering the realm of dockyard 17 right now. We are coasting. We should be able to enter 18. We only have to get into the front of 18 to stop. We're 1/100th of a mile away. We're going 7.6. We're going to hit it. We have to stop here anyway, but I'm going to... And because I have to stop anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and put the brakes on. Why not? I have to stop here anyway. So we're going to stop. And our stop will now be assessed. Let's check our next step, shall we? Good idea. We're coming over to here. How do we get over here? Well, those are connected. That's connected. I need that over there to get the line lit up. And this will now light up, and our train path should be good. We're going to take those 5 closed vans over to the now blue lit up dock. Let's get to work, shall we? Good idea. Wait a minute, where am I? Oh, that's where I want to go. Whoops. I thought I was going the wrong way for a second, but that is where I want to go. Little confusion on my part. It's a bit of a journey here, so I'm going to go ahead and get up to the full 10 miles per hour. It is a long trek over where we need to go. Now, we're not allowed to go any faster than 10 miles per hour, which is a bit of a shame for this part of the journey, because this is a long, long section we're going on. I know it's a safety measure, but you kind of wish you could go 15 in this area, don't you? I mean, we could. We just get talked to about it afterwards. And in a real life scenario, we'd be out of a job. So we could go 15, but we're going to act like we want to keep our job today. We're back up to 10. There is a work truck there to our right. There is some logs and some wood, other wood to our left. There is some pallets to our right, it looks like, being supported by logs. Those literally are pallets. No, they're just logs. They're just nicely stacked logs. That's what they are. Never mind. So we need to get far enough back to actually hit Harbor 1. Even though this is now an isolated track, we have to get all the way back near the buffer to actually register as Harbor 1. So we can't just drop these cars off here. We have to actually go all the way back. Bit of a shame. Now, I don't believe you're seeing the mouse on my screen. I'm still going to move it out of the way just in case you can. But if you are seeing the mouse on my screen, which is now over my train, then that means I did not properly set my OBS to hide the mouse, so I will make sure that's hidden in the future. I've already recorded the next 2 videos. I do have some other videos recorded where it is already properly hidden, but I might not have properly hid on this particular video, and if I didn't do that, well, it'll be gone in other ones. Don't worry. So we're going to stop here. Now, one thing... What I did do on a previous run is I set the, in the consist view, I set the handbrakes on these. Guys, you know, you really don't want me to see this, do you? They don't want me to see the consist view. So what I did was I actually set the handbrakes on the trains that I was detaching, but what I found out is that I was going slow after I did that, and I think the game mistakenly applied the handbrakes to my train and made sure I went slower. So I'm not going to set the handbrakes. The game seems to do it automatically. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that myself. And those 5 cars have now been detached. I can move ahead and leave them here. So I'm going to go ahead... Actually, no. Let's do it this way. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and get back in my train, reverser, in that direction. Take the brakes off, and let's get moving. I thought it was going to be silly for a second, but nope, we're back up to speed. So I'm going to wait until we get past the switch in the engine, then I'm going to start paying attention to where we are on the rest of the train. Now this appears to be some sort of a road here, or something. I don't know exactly what this is. Some kind of a road. Service road for one of the buildings. I'm a little late on that horn. That's a horrible sounding horn. I'm not going to play that horn again. That sounds horrible. Not the best horn on earth, that's for sure. So you can see that all the tracks are set to go straight. We are coming up on our switch. So let's hit that switch now, and then we're going to go ahead and hit the brakes and go in the other direction. Get the reverser going the right way. Brakes are off. Throttle is on. And I'm going to go ahead and just keep the throttle at a low setting right now, because we have to go to... we're going to cross the track over to here. We're going to come down to number 2, which is right here. We're going to eventually be coming to number 3 on that switch. So number 2 is the first one we're going to see. Let's hop outside the train for this one. And it's a longer drive than I thought, so we're going to go ahead and... Wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on. Stop, 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 stop. Stop, 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 stop. Did I not detach something correctly? I didn't go back far enough. I I did not go back far enough. Okay, we got a little bit of a cleanup job to do. I have to go back and do the other stop again. So let's return in the other direction. Because I'm afraid if I do this next stop right now, I'm actually going to find myself in a situation where I'm not able to complete the task if I do them in advance. I could do them right now. I think it will still take them if I did do them right now, but I'm going to have to go back and move those cars back anyway. I might as well do it. This is going to add to my journey time. You have to make sure you get far enough back, and I thought I was far enough back. Clearly, I was not far enough back. I'm going to have to reattach to them, and it's going to be a little sloppy today. So, brakes off, and let's go forward again. Why not? So we're going to reconnect to these guys, push them back, and we're just going to basically redo this. So we're going to keep our consist view up. Maybe not. I'm just going to inch back now. There we go. A little further they're going to go now. Just to make the game happy. There, are we happy now? They're all within harbor? Are we happy now? Will this count now? Are we good? That counts. That's enough, apparently. So we're going to go ahead and reverse in the opposite direction again, because why not? So what I was just about to do, we're going to go ahead and do it again. And I'm going the wrong way now. No, stop, 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 stop. There's the right way. So they get to stay there. We're going to carry on doing what we're doing. We're going to watch it come past the switch. Once I am well clear of the circle, we're going to proceed and hit the switch, and I will reverse into the other direction again. So I am now clear of the switch. That means I can now hit it. Brakes, please. Reverse the other way. Hop on top of the train, and as we were before, gentlemen. As you were before. Now, since I've already set the switches for 2 and 3 respectively, I don't really need to check that again. I know those are correct. I know we're good on that. And the only reason I knew something was wrong is because I noticed the task was not lit up that we were supposed to be doing. So, yeah, you do those oopsies once in a while. It's kind of funny because I was saying you have to be far enough back, and I thought I was far enough back, and I wasn't. There you go. I guess all the cars have to be in the area. I'm trying to apply some brakes now, but they're not registering as fast as I thought, so we're going to really crank those brakes up, and the engine didn't like that because it's coming right down to 0. I stopped it at 2. So once again, we're going to have the consist view ready. But for this one, I should be able to come to a stop. There we go, and I have to stop anyway. So we're going to go ahead and connect all that right now, just like that. And these guys are going to have to move out of our way on number 3, so let's go forward, shall we? At least I'm calling it forward. You call it whatever you want. And I'm just going to keep the view on this because if I move off the car, I'm going to end up back on the back of the train again. So I'm just going to keep the view right here. Wow, the brakes respond fast. Those are some good brakes. So we need to get it past that switch. I'm going a lot slower than I thought I was getting past that, so... So once again, once I'm clear of the circle, I'm good to do what I need to do. And I have it lit up now, and I can now hit it. So, brakes. Other direction. S'il vous plaît. Merci. Yes, I'm Canadian. What gave it away? So we're now back towards Harbor 3. Very, very slowly, I might add. So let's put some more speed on. We're not touching Harbor 4. Those cars can stay there. Wow, don't brake that much, dude. Holy cow. Make sure all the cars are inside Harbor 3 this time. We don't want to have problems this time with the task not completing, right? So these were the 5 guys I need to unhook right there. Task is done. So forward we go again. We don't need to go too fast. We're going to hit the brakes immediately after we get out of here. There it is. So back over to yard 2. I managed to hit it, so we're good. So reverse her in the other direction again. Now, I have been a part of a speedrun community for a while, and I keep imagining what would a train simulator speedrun look like. This would be what a train simulator speedrun looks like. Always trying to go the yard speed wherever possible, trying to do all these things as fast as you possibly can. And I'm speeding through a break. Look at that. Trying to do things as quick as you possibly can, and trying to be the one that has the fastest time to clear the mission. That would be what a speedrun looks like. The task is completed. I can go back to the dockyard, as the little tooltip just said. And there's nothing on my tail right now, so I'm up to speed in a hurry. So at this point, I can just sit here and watch the train for a little while. Again, I'm going to move my mouse out of the way just in case you can see it. You gotta like the view of the water here too. This is a nice view here. I'm sure the water doesn't look that nice in real life because this is a, needless to say, a freight area, so the water probably doesn't look that nice in real life, but the game did a good job making it look nice. And at this point, I fully expect there's going to be someone flooding me with pictures of the Falmouth docks looking pristine and beautiful. And I will be put to shame. Shame! So remember where we picked up those cars we just unloaded? We're going back in that direction when we get over here. Ooh, this is kind of a neat little set of metal on the ground here. That's nice. So we're going to be heading right back over there. So we're going to get past our triple switch here. I don't know why there's 4 pieces of wood under that track. That's kind of funny. This should qualify as dockyard at this point. So I'm gonna head over to this switch. I'm gonna show you how you know which track it's on. If it's forward that way, you go where we just came. If it's standing straight up, we're going down the middle track. If it's going that way, we're gonna go to the right. We want to go to the right. And if you want to look at the map and you want to know why that is, yep, that's where we're going. I'm looking at the wrong part of the map now. Let's get over here. If we go down the middle track, we're basically heading up in this direction. We're going to go there later, but not yet. We want to go along the track we just cleared off. We're going to head over to this switch here. We're going to hit that over to there. We're going to hit this so the switches connect. And that will allow us to connect to this train here, which is what we need to connect to. This is Falmouth Siding 3, right? Yeah, this is Falmouth Siding. I was looking at the dockyard goals. So yeah, that's where we want to go. I thought something was wrong for a second, but we are good. So let's head back in that direction that we need to go. Preferably not in this view. This view is better. So let's take the reverser into forward. Keeping in mind that we do have an uphill here, so we are going to have to deal with an uphill once we hit the 1 in 38 that we're going to be combating here. And fortunately for us, we have a 15 limit to help deal with that. The uphill begins here. Now we're really on the uphill, so we're going to go ahead and throttle the speed up here. So we are now effectively on the main line. So there's the station. And we don't want to go too fast in here. I'm going faster than I thought I would be at this point. So let's cut that down just a little bit. Oh yeah, a little bit more, please. We're going to consist view up again. That's our engine, D2990. Oh, almost perfect. How close was I? That was close. Connect. And other direction, please. Drive to Eastern Breakwater 5. I'm going to go ahead and set our map for this as we start moving because this is a long drive. I'm not going to go too fast right now. 5 is enough, because we're going to have a downhill coming up. Let's stop at 3, actually. So we're going to be going to Eastern Breakwater. We're going to come all the way back along here. We have to basically head up in this direction. Up there. Switches are set. Switches are set again. They're set again. So we are going to head over to that area. That is Eastern Breakwater 5. Forward again. The signal does not apply to us. That is our signal, the switcher signal on the ground that we just went in front of. Right there. Now that might have been a good spot to stop and save, because we should really save along these journeys, just in case something goes wrong. And you always have to have that funny feeling something is going to go wrong with a game as old as Train Simulator. You have to have that feeling. I need to get that speed down quickly, because 10 is going to be our limit again. Back into the yard. So you can see all the indicators going along on the bottom. Eastern Breakwater 5 is not the terminus of this part of the line. The terminus of this part of the line is actually Eastern Breakwater 2. But it's not marked on the thing because we don't use it. So we're not going to be going that far on the HUD, therefore it's not marked on the HUD. That's where the terminus is. Eastern Breakwater 2 is the terminus. We're stopping at 5, which is before 2. That's probably a good thing, because I think up at Eastern Breakwater 5... No, actually no, 2 is empty. There's nothing there, so we could go there if we had to. But we're not going to go that far. I believe we're off the downhill. We are on level ground, it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and push our speed back up. So checking our map again, because you never can be too sure here. Switches are all set for us. Our line is correct. Our line is... Oh, hold on. Oh, that's a different switch. Never mind. That's why you always check, though. You never know. You have to be sure. So we're heading back towards the clear dock area right now. And some of the terrain just literally insta-spawning there. And we did make the turn correctly, so we are going to Eastern Breakwater 5 as planned. I'll just go a little further into that range, and then I'll hit the brakes. This should be good. Perfect. Let's get our next step set up, shall we? We're going to be going to Dockyard 24, which is right here. So let's hit this switch. No. This switch. After that, we're going to be going to Dockyard 23, so we'll make sure the Dockyard 23 switch is set. Dockyard 22 is down here. We'll make sure that switch is set. We'll fix the rest of that later. So over to Dockyard 24, let's put the reverser in the other direction, take the brakes off, and put the throttle on. Push to the other end of the train. We're going to get our brake man to do some work for us here, tell us where we're going. Now these are relatively close, so I'm not going to go too fast. In fact, I don't know why I'm going 7. That's faster than I wanted to go. So all these switches are set in my favor when I get to those parts of the switching, which is why I did that in advance. So let's move back a little more. As I finish around the curve, I will hit the brakes. We don't necessarily need to put them in between the buildings. We'll leave a little room for the people to walk there. That should be fine. The cars we're dropping off are just 23, 24, 25. So let's bring this up. Boom. We're done. We can now go forward. After we've done that, we'll check where we proceed from there. So we're going to leave these cars back here, and we're going to return to the back of our train. Stop. Slow down right now. So we're going to hit this one now. That one. Thank you. And that should take us into Dockyard 23 at this point. So I actually took the brakes off by accident. That I did not want to do. So we're going to go ahead and just do it this way because I did things wrong. Hold on. Stop, 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 stop. This is wrong. This is wrong. The part of the map was not set correctly. Let's just verify. That needs to go there, and now we're set for 23. Now we can go. The switch that was set correctly was the one in the middle right here. That's the switch that was set correctly. The other one I had not set. So that was the thing that you have to make sure the switches are correct, or you will go to the wrong place. And if it's a place that you shouldn't really be going to as part of your scenario, you will be marked as being off map, and you can fail the scenario automatically. I have seen that happen on certain routes, which shall not be named for right now, because you will actually see it show up on one of my journeys later. Yes, that route. And if you don't know what route I'm talking about, you will see later. So, checking our task once again, 21 and 22. Don't want to detach for some reason. There they go. They didn't want to go, but I made them go. So, forward again. And again, I'm not going to go too fast because we're going to be going right back onto our main line back here. And I actually want to stop right here because 22 is right there. There we go. That's where I want to go. Right there. Oops, wrong way. Other direction. I'm within a mile, I'll just do it. So we are going back towards Dockyard 22. That was set for 22 before, and that one I had correct, but 23 I had to reset because I had missed a step. Probably going a little too fast for this one, but you know what? We'll deal with it. And actually, I need to hit the brakes now. I really need to hit the brakes now. There we go. Just inch back a little further now, please and thank you. And that should be good. That'll give them room to load without having to go around the building. So we'll stop it right there. So we'll detach those guys. Right there. We're going to go back to Breakwater 5. And when I get to Breakwater 5, I'm going to go ahead and take a bit of a pause. And I'm going to end my first look at the scenario there. The reason I'm going to pause at Breakwater 5 is because this video is getting a little bit long. And I think it also would help to have a save point set up. So I'm going to set up a save point there. I'm going to show you how to do a save point. And then I'm going to go ahead and resume the scenario on the next video when we get over there. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like what you're seeing here so far. The other half of this scenario will be posted as well. If not the same day, probably by the next day. I'm going to go ahead and post my first few videos pretty quickly after each other. Probably at least one every day for a while. Then I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to settle into a more balanced rhythm of maybe doing a video, 2 or 3 videos a week. I may do some other games as well, like the truck simulator games, or a game like Worms Rumble. You never know, something like that could just stick in. A fairly new game that is very interesting and unique. So I may do other games like that as well. But for right now, let's go ahead and get to Breakwater 5. I will pause the scenario at that point, and we're going to have 10 more steps to do on the next video. So let's hit the brakes here. And I will see you on the next video. Make sure you like, subscribe. Have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it is for you, you're a part of the world. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.